They are your heritage. Now, what is our problem? That is political parasites, foxes from outside. I call them external political parasites or external foxes. But yes, our problem also now is the internal political parasite or internal foxes. And upon this, I want to read something from the scriptures. I want to read the scriptures. I want to read the scriptures and then we will share. I want to read from 1 Samuel chapter 8, verses 1 to 22. And then it says, when Samuel became old, he made his sons judges over Israel. The name of his firstborn was Joel, and the second was Abijah. They were judges in Beersheba. Yet his sons did not walk in his ways, but turned aside after gain, after profit, after stealing, after robbing. They did not walk the way of their father in integrity and faithfulness and fear of God. No, but they rather turned for gain. They became greedy, selfish. They took bribe and perverted justice. They took bribe and perverted justice. So some of our problem, African problem right now, aside the external problem we have, the internal problem we have, it's our political parasites, political foxes who are taking bribes, perverting justice, who are not walking uprightly. They have turned the politics into gain. God has not taken himself out of politics. God has not. What is police? People. Right? Police, people. How will God take himself out of people? People he has made in his image and likeness. Police. God has not taken himself away from us. We have walked away from him, but he has not left us. In love, he pursues after us. He speaks into our situations, our conditions. He does. Even when our leaders turn us into gain, they take advantage of us to enrich themselves and their families. Even that, the Lord will not leave us. He has not left us. Verse 4. Then all the elders of Israel gathered together and came to Samuel at Ramah and said to him, behold, you are old and your sons do not walk in your ways. Now appoint for us a king to judge us like all the nations. See? So our problem is we want to be like the other nations, all other nations. We have a serious problem. I have a serious problem. We are not able to go. We've rejected to go the way of the Lord, the way that is righteous, pleasing to God. We refuse that. We have allowed ourselves to be polluted. Our taste changed. Our desires changed. We have taste for things that we do not produce. We desire after things we don't have. We are in Ghana. We are in Africa. We are in Togo. We are in Benin. We are in Burkina Faso. We are in Mali. We are in Senegal. We are in Sudan. We are in Eritrea. We are in Kenya. We are in Zambia. We are in South Africa. We are in Congo. All over these places. And we want to have houses in France, in Belgium, in America, in Italy. How sickening. Political parasites. Verse 6. But the thing displeased Samuel when he said, give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed to the Lord and said, Lord. And the Lord said to Samuel, obey the voice of the people in all that they say to you, for they have not rejected you. For they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me from being king over them. So our problem is that God is not a king over us. God is not a king over us. We do not cherish uprightness. We do not cherish righteousness. We do not seek after the way of the Lord. But we want to be like all the other nations. And we know who they are. Sarkozy says it. He says they are what? Sarkozy says, we are bloody. He says, we Europeans, we are bloody, we are savage, and we are warmongering. Sarkozy said that. And that's what we want to be like. And that is the problem of the African man. This is not the way of the Lord. This is not. It is not. It is not. Then he said, now then, obey their voices. Only you shall solemnly warn them and show them the way of the kings who shall reign over them. See the problem? So this is where, the internal political parasite and foxes, this is where the issue of the political parasite and foxes starts from. This is where it starts from. He said, you shall only solemnly warn them, tell them what their king will do to them. When they have a king, human king over them, something will change. Things are not going to be the same. He says, so Samuel told all the words of the Lord to the people who were asking for a king from him. He said, this will be the way of the kings who will reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them to be his chariots and to be his horsemen and to turn before his chariots and to run before his chariots. And he will appoint for himself commanders of thousands and commanders of fifties, and some to plow his ground and to reap his harvest, and to make his implement of war and the equipment of his chariots. He will take your daughters to be perfumers and cooks and bakers. He will take the best of your field and vineyard, only olive orchards, and give them to his servants. He will take the 10th of your grain and your vineyards and give it to his officers, to his servants. He will take your male servants and female servants, the best of your young men and your donkeys, and put them into his work. He will take the 10th of your flock, and you shall be his slaves. And in that day, you will cry out because of your king, whom you have chosen for yourselves, but the Lord will not answer you in that day. This is the word of the Lord. This is the word of the Lord. So the problem we have is the human system is problematic because of sin, because of our nature, because there's greed in us. We want everything for ourselves. And that is the problem of our leadership. And it's a problem for everybody. Because we are falling, right? We are sinful men and women, right? That's it. So say, your leaders, say your king, the king. Today we don't have the king anymore, right? We are in a democracy. We are in a republic. So a republic does not have a king. So there's no king. Ghana does not have king over it. There's no king over Ghana. There's no king over any country in West Africa, at least. Morocco, yes, they have a monarch that controls the whole of Morocco. Maybe Tunisia may also have, I don't know. But yeah, and then Swatini, yes, it's a kingdom. But the rest, we are all republics. And therefore, we vote, we elect leaders. And these leaders, they are synonymous, with kings, let's say. All right. So they will, so the Lord is saying, these are the things they will do to you. They will take your children, your sons and your daughters. They will take your land. They will take 1/10 of your produce, of your income. They will take 1/10 of your flock. And they will do whatever they want to do with you. They will make you their slaves. That is human. It's human nature. It's human nature. It's a spirit of witchcraft that wants to control another human. A power that God did not give us. He gave us power to rule over his creation, the animals, the birds, and the fish, and nature. But over another human, you are not to rule over. You are not to rule over. You are not to rule and dominate another human. It's only the spirit of witchcraft that will want to do that. That will want to subjugate and destroy and kill. It's only the spirit of witchcraft. So the prophet Samuel says, tell them that this is a problem. And yes, and this happened. This happened to them. And so when you read Luke, and then Jesus called, let's see why Jesus Christ now described these political figures or these political leaders as foxes or political parasites. Right? Let's see. That is in Luke chapter 13. Luke chapter 13, verse 32. Luke 13, 32. It says, that's Jesus, or Yesu. So Yesu replied, go tell that fox, I will keep on driving out demons and healing people today, tomorrow, and on the third day, I will reach my goal. Oh my goodness, that's NIV version. The Living Translation says, Jesus replied, or Yesu replied, go tell that fox that I will keep on casting out demons and healing people today, tomorrow, and the third day, I will accomplish my purpose. So Jesus has a purpose to accomplish. He has a purpose. And his purpose is higher than any political maneuver, by any political figure. Jesus is prophetic. He is the mouthpiece of God. He speaks what God says. He speaks what God desires. He brings correction to the corrupt political system. And so, and Herod has, he has been described as a dog, a fox. 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 An animal, a creature that is cursed. It's unclean. According to the Hebraic, Levitical, customs. It's unclean. It's not holy. And you know why? Herod was not. So even among the Pharisees, even though the Pharisees did not like Jesus, they wanted him dead. They prefer Jesus in this case. So they came and they were warning Jesus. Say, hey, Jesus, be careful of this guy. He will kill you. He will kill you. Because that's what he does. Because he was the stooge. He was the Roman stooge. He was the puppet of the Roman government. So the manipulations and the meddling affairs of nations, in the case of Africa, colonization and slavery and all these things didn't start today. This is what the Europeans do best. Corrupt systems, corrupt nations, corrupt leadership. Force a puppet government on people. Force a puppet leader on people and manipulate the person. So Herod was established over Judea by the Roman government. And Herod actually built a city, Tiberius. He built a city. And the Tiberius that the city actually, later on, the Jews got to know that, in fact, this guy has built a city on an old cemetery. And that is sacrilegious. That is no Jew who stay in that city. So they did not even live in that. It was Roman citizens who came to live in Tiberias. And so that's how unclean even the Pharisees consider Herod. But they couldn't say it. He was a stooge. He was manipulated. He was used against his own people. And the same thing the Europeans did to us. The French did it, and the French are still doing it. That's why today, that is why Burkina Faso is doing what it's doing today. And God bless the Burkina Faso leader, president. God bless him. We support him with our prayers. We pray that God will keep him. That's why the Malian leader has to kick the French out. That's why Niger has to kick the French out. That's why Chad has to kick them out. That's why Senegal has to kick them out. Because they are still there. They are still there. They are still there. France, that's still Rome. Germany, that's still Rome. Italy, that's still Rome. All of them there is still the Roman spirit, that evil spirit, that bloody and savage spirit is still there. That warmongering spirit is still there. And therefore, any good leader that wants to come up in Africa and help his people, they kill him, take him away, and set up a stooge, a puppet that they can manipulate and control against their own people. And woe unto you, African leaders, who refuse to wake up and allow yourself to be used as stooges and puppets by the Europeans to our destruction, to our discomfort. We are in discomfort and we are crying out. We are in pain and you are enjoying the goodies of the land together with the foxes, the external foxes, and you, the internal foxes. You are parasites and you shall be best. You shall be crushed. The Lord will crush you. The Lord will crush you, you and your descendants. You will amass it. You will steal it. You will take it away from us by force, but you shall not enjoy it. Shame and disgrace will cover you and your family unless you change and repent. The Lord is against you. The cry of the people. Don't you have ears? Can't you hear the cry of your people? Can't you hear the crying of your people? Can't you see their tears? Can't you see their nakedness? Can't you see their plight? Can't you? The creator of heaven and earth, the giver of life, is against you. But he has his own time to do his own thing. But he's against you. He's against you.